Glad you're with us on a very, very chilly Monday morning. Kind of weird from where we were yesterday to where we are now. It is the 16th of March, 2026. Hopefully, this is the last real cold spell we're going to have for this season. But we're getting reports from folks all over the state that are seeing a little bit of snow, a little bit of ice. Just amazing. The storm we had last night, we've got trees down in some areas. Power is out in some areas, including at Skippy's house. Skippy came in early, Richard.
That's why he's here.
Yeah, I was like, "What are you doing here so early?" He goes, "I don't have any power at the house. Can't show prep. Got to get ready." And I was like, "Okay, well, welcome in."
I thought he had a newfound respect for the job, but apparently not.
Well,
okay, yeah.
Again, real cold today. That temperature just keeps dropping. It'll be pretty chilly tomorrow, too. We're going to have some freezing temperatures overnight. So if you've got some things that are in bloom or put flowers out or whatever, you need to cover those things up or try to bring them in so they don't die. I know this is what happens. And then we'll, in the middle of the week, it looks like Wednesday, we'll get up to 61. And as we look beyond that, we're back into the 70s. And by the weekend, maybe even 80 degrees. That's just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
But we're looking out the window here right now, Richard. It is absolutely freezing cold out there. And
It
again,
looks cold as hell.
Oh, like all of a sudden we went from Florida to Colorado. What the heck?
Man, it was nice over the weekend.
It was. It was
beautiful.
lovely.
I'm basking in the memory of it right now.
Yep. Weekend plans. It was pretty nice Saturday.
Let's talk Parrott Structural Services. All of this cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. The ground is expanding, contracting, expanding, contracting, expanding, contracting, punching your foundation again and again and again. And consequently, you're getting a little beat up there. You could end up with a crumbling, cracking, leaning, sinking, failing, falling foundation, which is not good. That's why you need Parrott Structural Services on your side. ParrottSS.com, 668-2626. They're going to take good care of you. They're going to come out. They're going to give you the once-over. They're going to give you a diagnosis and a prognosis. They're going to suggest you get a structural engineer to back them up. They have a tool for every issue. You know, they have a really cool tool that allows them to see actually through concrete slabs. Because a lot of times in those slabs, you have wiring conduit, you have got, sewer lines, you've got, obviously, gas lines, you've got water lines, a lot of stuff that's going through there. So you need to make sure that you're not going to drill through one of those things when you drill through to put in the stuff you need to put in to get that slab back up where it needs to go. That's just one of the many tools they have. So many great tools with Parrott Structural Services and so much integrity and experience. They're the right guys for the job. ParrottSS.com, 668-2626. Licensed, bonded, insured, E-Verify compliant. President Trump was stunned to learn last week that U.S. intelligence indicates the new Iranian Supreme Leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, may be gay, and that his father, the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, feared his suitability to rule the Islamic Republic for that reason. Trump couldn't contain his surprise and laughed out loud when he was briefed on the intel, according to sources. Others in the room also found it hilarious, enjoying the president's reaction, while one senior intelligence official has not stopped laughing about it for days. This would explain why, I mean, you remember we killed like the top 40 people?
Almost 49, 48, something like that.
And he wasn't in the room, which makes you understand that he was not one of the top 40, 48, 49, whatever. He was not Casey Kasem's top 40.
It was not
we
a part
have
of that
here
either.
The top 40
Not
leaders
sure what he was
in
a part
Iran.
of, but he wasn't a part of much.
But given the right opportunity, we do have a long-distance dedication for him.
A long-distance dedication.
It is.
It's a missile from Israel.
Here, have this.
Wow. I can imagine Trump. Yeah, he's gay. This is amazing. It's hilarious. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. You know what we should do? We should send him some ruby slippers. I bet he'd like that.
I'm surprised he's still alive. And I mean,
he may not be.
But I'm just saying,
being gay, that they
and you live in that country, but those two things don't go together.
When you're the son of the Ayatollah,
you get special
probably
dispensation
special
for that.
Treatment.
Really?
Yeah. I'm guessing the gayness is an open secret over there.
Gayness.
Kind of one of those things where it's like we all know, but nobody's talking about it.
Really?
You know? And he comes into meetings and
meanwhile,
he's like,
you're chopping off other people's heads.
Boy, did I have a good time with my wife last night. Yeah, right. Okay, sure.
Wife. Yeah, wife.
Wife. Did you put wife in air quotes?
I did indeed.
Yeah, I definitely could see how this would not be well accepted by the powers that be over there. But there is discussion now that he's potentially dead, that he did succumb to his wounds. Now, Israel's got better intelligence than we do because they're over there and they're swarthy,
Yeah.
so they can fit in.
So he had
right?
a leg or legs,
Yeah.
maybe blown off,
Right.
and that he was still alive, but
Right.
now there's
That's
this
the claim.
belief he's dead.
And they're saying he might be dead, and Iran is covering it because if they name somebody else, we're just going to
coming
kill
after
him
them,
too.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, we'll just keep the dead guy as
Listen,
our leader.
You need to just quit naming anybody because
right.
if you're picking them, they're not the right person, and we're going to continue to tell you that. As long as your regime keeps picking the person you think is going to be the next leader of Iran,
Yeah.
and that ain't happening.
We're going to keep killing them. That's basically how it works. Late night hosts, following Operation Epic Fury's beginning, decided 94% of their on-air time regarding Operation Epic Fury was mocking the United States. Remember when we actually used to mock the enemy? We actually
well,
used
Trump
to have
is the enemy.
Well, as far
Trump
as
is
they're
the enemy as
concerned,
far
yes.
as these late night talk
Yeah.
show hosts are concerned.
Mm.
They have Trump derangement syndrome, and that's why they're going down this path. Don't worry about the men and women that are putting their lives on the line for this country, you jerks.
Yeah. It
Ah,
reminds
makes
me
me so
of the
mad.
situation with, say, Megan Rapinoe, who you've got the Iranian women's soccer team afraid to go back to Iran after they didn't sing the national anthem, and she's resolutely silent on the issue. She's ticked off that the men's hockey team accepted a call from President Trump and laughed at a stupid joke about the women's team. I had to invite the women's team. I would have been impeached if I didn't invite the women's team. Ha ha ha! Everybody, that's hilarious. How dare they laugh at that? Those are a bunch of misogynistic bums, and they're going to the State of the Union address with the president. They should be ashamed of themselves. Hey, Megan, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a whole bunch of women over here terrified to go back to their home country because they may be killed in a place that really is misogynistic. Well, I have no opinion on that. Okay. We're talking about.
We're really not.
yeah.
We're not listening to her anyways.
No. I haven't listened to her in
no.
quite some time. Can I just say, hell of a soccer player. I saw her
But just
here.
play soccer and stay out of politics. How about that?
Follow what Gene Simmons says. Nobody gives a
And be a
damn
little
about your
patriotic too. How about that?
Well, here's the thing. She's retired. Go
opinion.
away.
That's true. Formula One has canceled races in both Bahrain and Saudi Arabia over the war in Iran, mostly because I'm sure they don't really want large gatherings of people in one place if they can avoid it.
It would make for a fantastic spectacle if Iran could get a missile to drop in on either one of those F1 races.
Missile or a drone, it would just be a little bit too easy.
Let's pass on that right now.
So, yeah, we got other things going on.
That makes good sense too.
They raced
to
in
cancel.
China yesterday, take this weekend off, go to Japan, and then the entire month now of April they have off, surprisingly.
Must be nice.
So they get a spring break.
Yeah. No, they raced in China, and then like an hour later, they felt like racing again, did they not?
Well, except for
one-
Lewis Hamilton,
They
who
weren't
was
eating,
waiting
they
to
were
see whether or not
racing.
he was going to win an Oscar for his producing of F1 the movie.
F1. Steven Spielberg says he's working on a kick-ass Western for his next film.
Really?
Hmm.
Oh, I'd
Okay.
wonder what this is all about.
I'm trying to figure out what was the last really great Spielberg movie that was made. The Fabelmans was a disaster.
Keep thinking.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back a ways.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I can't remember what Spielberg films there are. I'll look that up in a moment and see if I can find a decent Spielberg movie that wasn't in too distant past. Speaking of disasters, The Bride, 80% box office drop-off
Ooh.
from week 1 to week 2. Here's what's really bad. Opening weekend was $8 million. Week 2, $1.8 million, 80% drop-off. This is a movie that cost like $100 and change, about $90 million to make, something like that, $80, $90 million to make. And thus far, it has made a rockin' good almost $10 million. Yeah, this thing is a disaster. And they're coming up with every excuse in the book for why it's a disaster, but it's a disaster. Bill Maher, while talking to Josh Shapiro, asked him flat out, is being a Jew a complete deal breaker in the Democratic Party?
What?
Well, I mean, what he said basically is, and I agree with him,
Bill.
anti-Semitism has risen to a point where I never thought possible in my lifetime.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that we would ever see this.
And it's all on the left. This
Yeah.
idea that the right is engaging in this is nonsense. It's all on the left. When you look at NYU, when you look at any of these college campuses in New York City where they've been doing all of these protests and things. And it's all these institutes of higher learning, Harvard and whatnot, where this ridiculous stuff is taking place. People on the right are like, hey, Israel's our friend. They're our only ally in that region, really. That we have shared interests and we have shared political styles. And you're just not going to find a bunch of right wing, which is why I find it hilarious when they call Donald Trump and MAGA people Nazis. You're like, really? You mean the people who wiped out the 6 million Jews?
I mean, it's the other side.
I think you're looking at the other
Which
side.
It still surprises me too that so many in the Jewish community continue to down the path of being a Democrat.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know who is partnered with Israel and loves Israel?
Yeah.
Conservatives.
Hello.
Conservatives
Hello.
want to protect Israel and be allies with Israel. It's not the Democrats, and it's just jaw-dropping to me that they continue down that same path of wanting to be a part of that, the Democratic Party.
I
Why
agree.
in the world would they do that?
It's crazy.
I don't understand it.
Steve has an answer on the Steven Spielberg question.
Okay,
Yes.
so here we go. According to IMDb, you mentioned The Fablemans. That's the last movie he directed, 2022. West Side Story was a flop in 2021.
Flop.
Ready Player One was a hit. That was 2018.
Okay.
The Post was critically lauded, but did not make much money
No
in
real
2017. The BFG, 2016. Bridge of Spies. Got to go back to Lincoln for the last
2012.
major
Wow.
hit/critically lauded movie, and that was 2012.
14 years ago.
2012.
Yikes.
Good Lord. Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
918, real quick. William Shatner going into surgery. He got thrown by a horse, 94 years old.
Oh, what are you doing riding? No offense. I mean, I guess we all get to
That's what he
live our
loves to do.
lives, but come on.
I think the guy looks great. Every time I ever
Yeah.
see him, I'm impressed by how good he looks, his stamina. He doesn't look like he's had a bunch of plastic surgery
He
done.
doesn't look
Maybe
like he's
he has.
94.
He doesn't look like
No.
he's 94. And he see, you see him in commercials and things, and he's
But I mean, there comes a point in
very
life where you
upbeat.
go, I'd rather not break this hip or this knee or something like that. And I'm not
you,
saying
you
quit.
go that.
Listen,
Shatner is
I
like,
didn't even
"I'm
want to
breaking
ride
whatever I
a
want."
bike in this tour to whatever it was this weekend because I was like, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to bust my butt off this bike, and then I'm going to end up going down. My knee's all going to be blown up. And yes, I sound like I'm old, but
That's right.
there's certain limits as you go through life where you go, you know what? I'm not risking that.
You're not James T. Kirk.
No, I guess
That's
not.
the difference. 919, Steve gets a turn. It's coming up next. 923, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. Without further ado, let's get to this.
It's Steve's turn.
Well, it was just last week that Richard asked the question of the day. Which TV series would you like to see come back? Another way of asking what TV series basically ended too early. Well, the list ends up being very varied. We all have our favorites that we think ended too soon and we'd like to see come back, but almost every list includes the sci-fi series that lasted all of, well, not even one season. Firefly. If you're unfamiliar with it, short-lived series followed a spaceship called Serenity, part of the Firefly class of ships. Starred Nathan Fillion as the captain as they tried to navigate through unknown parts of the galaxy, all in an attempt to get away from warring factions who were out to destroy them and some authorities who wanted to apprehend them. Others in the cast pretty well known to us now. People like Alan Tudyk, Marina Baccarin, Adam Baldwin, Summer Glau. There were others as well. The Joss Whedon show debuted in 2002 on the Fox network. It was aired on Friday nights, but the network lost faith in the show quickly, and by December of 2002 stated, well, we're canceling the show, and in the end, they only aired 11 of the 14 produced episodes. The other 3 were shown finally on the Sci-Fi Channel later in 2003, initially only in Britain. Fans complained about how Fox handled the show. Mainly, first, they put it on Friday nights. That's when younger viewers, the main audience for this kind of show, wasn't going to be sitting around watching TV. They were going to be out and about. And another was in the fact that on this hour-by-hour show, it was serialized, which means it had a continuing storyline, but Fox didn't care. They aired it out of order, so it made for even the most ardent fans a little bit hard for them to keep up with it. So fans end up buying the DVD sets. They've enjoyed the existing episodes. They wondered what the heck ever happened to the crew. They made a movie called Firefly Serenity, but it didn't seem to answer all the questions everybody had. Well, it appears now we're actually going to find out because it started to get teased over the last couple of weeks. Short video, Nathan Fillion knocking on the doors of some of his old castmates, saying, now's the time. All seem to be in and ready for a reboot of Firefly. Here's how it's going to work. Since everybody else is so busy doing other stuff, it's going to be an animated series. Allows the actors to do their other jobs. Think about it. Fillion is in the ABC hit show The Rookie. Marina Baccarin's also in a weekly series for CBS called Sheriff County. Alan Tudyk is constantly busy, both in front of the camera and in front of a microphone, doing a number of projects. So in making this version an animated show, this allows the actors to go voice their parts when their schedules allows the animators to be able to mirror what you see with what they have done and how they said it. Nathan Fillion's own production company called Collision 33 is working with 20th Television on this revival. Turns out, though, they do need 2 things, and they're kind of important. You need a distribution arm. 20th Television, yeah, he's working with them, but they haven't actually committed to being the distributor. They're under the Disney umbrella, and Disney hasn't confirmed that they're going to put it out there just yet, whether it's a network or on a streaming service. So, things are still being worked up, Firefly fans, but you're going to have to continue to have some patience, which, well, it shouldn't be a big problem. After all, it's been 23 years since the show was first aired anyway, so what's a little bit more time, Firefly fans?
You can do it. Just be patient.
Yeah, you know it's going to end up. It's going to end up on a streaming service like Peacock or something,
Yeah,
which
probably.
is okay. Firefly fans will probably love it anyway.
Oh, they'll be all over it.
Because that is the number one show that you hear about when people go, ended too soon.
Oh, yeah.
Ended too soon. I never saw the first episode of it, but I like both Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk, so I assume it's going to be good.
And Marina Baccarin is not hard on the eyes at all.
Yeah, you're going to be
That
looking
helps.
at a cartoon this time, though. So,
Still, based on Marina Baccarin, it's not a bad thing.
like Jessica Rabbit. Hello.
Jeez.
Hey. Yeah, I might check it out. I might also go back and look at the actual Firefly episodes because, never seen it. Don't know anything about it, but I understand it's fun and funny. And
started to watch it, and I never completed it, basically because I was like, why am I getting into this if I won't get an ending?
knowing full well that they're going to pull the plug on you. Yeah, that is
exactly.
sort of a pain. ProLift Garage Doors, 286-9727. When the garage door gives up on you, having somebody on your side that can show up and get it right back on track and working the way it's supposed to is a good thing indeed. ProLift Garage Doors at 286-9727 is that someone. They have most of the parts on the truck necessary to do the job. Always good. They've got qualified, experienced individuals if somebody shows up claiming to be ProLift and they don't have the ProLift name on the side of their truck and they don't have the ProLift name on their uniform, they're not ProLift. Don't buy into it. They have had a problem with this every now and again. Just want to make sure that you're getting the best of the best, and that is ProLift Garage Doors. 286-9727 or online at proliftdoors.com. Coming up, Valerie's favorite mayonnaise coming out with a couple of new flavors.
All right.
Flavored mayonnaise. Will wonders never cease? When
Bring
did
it
this
on.
start?
Listen, everybody else is doing it. Glom on.
And then there's a new flavor of chip coming out. Now, I'm usually not completely enamored of new chip flavors. I'm kind of like a barbecue and sour cream and onion or cheddar and sour cream kind of guy. That's the basics for me. Of course, we did like the Cuban sandwich flavor. That was pretty good.
Yum.
But this one looks pretty intriguing to me. I might be interested. And Nature Valley decides to upgrade their products for children. Okay. We'll take a look at all of that and more when we return. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5. So, who is Leslie? That's my question.
You need to ask them.
One of the world's great mysteries.
936 Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us. Skippy and his little sidekick Jimbo coming up.
Hey, Richard, it's snowing.
I know. How bizarre is
We got
that?
flakes coming down in Homewood on Red Mountain. So weird. So
Yeah, the
strange.
little flags, big flags, a little bit of
Oh,
everything, and it's beginning to collect on the leaves across over there on the hill. It's not gonna.
It's not
No,
going to
it's
stick.
not
stick or
sticking,
anything, but
it's
Ground's
funny to.
way too warm for
Yeah.
It looks pretty coming.
It
down.
is pretty. Now go away.
Now I'm happy I didn't put the Christmas decorations away. I think
Yeah,
I'll
you
put
can
them
pull 'em
back
back
up.
out.
I'm going to put them back up again now.
For a couple of days, anyways.
Sure. 937 with Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com.
All righty, let's get it fixed and resolved today. We know that from time to time, homes can, there can be a little shifting there, which causes cracking. I don't like the sound of either of those, and I'm sure you don't either. But if there is that problem at your home right now, you always know you can reach out to B-Dry. BDryAlabama.com not only repairs cracking in the foundation of your home, but sometimes where it all really starts is in the crawl space or basement when you have some water or moisture getting into those areas. All right, all of that is not good, but it's so nice to know David Fevitt and the guys at B-Dry can resolve this. And they've been doing this, listen to this, folks, for over 65 years. Trust a company that's been in business that long. Just some great reviews from people that have had wonderful experiences with B-Dry. And it's simple. You just call them and say, I'd like for you to come out to my house and take a look at what's going on and give me that free quote, please. And they say, sure, we'll be right out. 205-942-1976 is the number to schedule that appointment. Or you can go to BDryAlabama.com. Know that you're dealing with a very trusted company, locally owned and operated, one of the strongest lifetime warranties in the business. You'll feel good about that. Budget-friendly solutions. You can talk to them about that when they come out to take a look about what's going on at your house. But don't delay it any longer. These are serious issues that need to be addressed sooner than later. BDryAlabama.com or 942-1976.
It is 9:38, and it is snowing in Double Springs, according to one of our fine listeners who shall remain nameless because he wouldn't tell us his name.
Well, be that way.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Valerie, if you've listened to this show for any length of time, you know Valerie has a favorite mayonnaise,
I do.
and you know that it is Hellman.
Well, I kind of just grew up with it. You
Sure.
know, we're all kind of stuck and enjoy what we were raised on.
As did I, but my palate is so pedestrian, I really can't tell the difference.
No.
If you were to put Duke's on a sandwich and tell me it was Hellman's, I'd be like, okay. I wouldn't say, that doesn't taste like Hellman's. Yeah, I can
would
taste
tell-
the difference between mayonnaise and Miracle Whip, but that's about it.
Yeah, those are that's pretty distinct. But I would say this, it also depends upon, like if you're putting it on a sandwich and it's all covered up with lettuce and tomato and meat and
Yeah.
cheese and all those kinds of things, okay. But if you're doing like an egg salad where there's
Sure.
quite a bit of mayonnaise or
Yeah.
a tuna salad
Potato
or chicken salad,
shrimp salad, all
you're
that.
really tasting the mayonnaise. And I think then it may, to your palate, what you really enjoy.
A point well taken.
I do find it interesting, though, that you say you can't tell the difference, but yet how many different flavors of mustard do you have?
Now, that's a little different because one of them is sweet hot mustard, one of them is honey mustard, one of them is honey Dijon mustard, one of them is just Dijon mustard, one of them is mustard with horseradish, one of them is just yellow mustard. They're all basically the same brand, by the way, except for the Engelhofer, which is delicious. Hellman's has got 2 new flavors out. They're just releasing these. One is Japanese-inspired mayo.
Good stuff.
How inspired by Japanese?
I don't know what exactly it is that creates the concept that this is. What are the Japs doing that's different?
Some of this will go on sushi, like you'll see just a little drizzle of
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is and it's just different. It has a different flavor, difficult to describe,
Mm-hmm.
but it is very tasty. I've had it before. It's very, very good.
Hmm.
Not the Hellman's, because this is brand new, which, by the way, I'm so tempted to go get some that I went to both the Walmart and Publix app, and I don't see it available yet.
Damn.
But guess who does have it? Amazon.
Amazon. Okay.
But you can't get it until the 2nd of April, so there must be like a release date where it's coming out
It's an embargo.
sometime in the next 2 weeks.
Yes, April Fool's Day. Hope you enjoy it.
Uh,
Helen's also coming out with Dijon mayo, featuring the brand's creamy mayonnaise combined with real Dijon mustard. This was popular in the 90s when Hellman launched Dijonnaise. After it was discontinued in 2020, however, fans had no choice but to whip up their own homemade batches. Very difficult to mix Dijon mustard with mayonnaise. Almost no one can do it. Oh, wait, everyone can do it. Never mind.
Yeah, but it's kind of nice that it's already whipped in together.
Sure it is.
And you just pull. And I tell you, it's kind of all the rage now. These new bottles that, they're upside down. You
The
open the
squirt bottle,
cap
yeah.
of the squirt bottle.
Yeah.
My son has got I opened up the refrigerator the other day, and in the door were 4 different squeeze bottles. I guess that's all the rage now, to put it if you're making a healthy bowl of ground beef and avocado and rice,
Mhm.
and then you want to cover it like they do with the bowls at some of these places. Now you've got these options.
Squirt a little mayo
So here's
over the
2
top
more that you could do the same thing with.
All righty then.
Or put it on a sandwich. I don't know, whatever you like.
I have taken to using ranch dressing, light ranch dressing, or fat-free ranch dressing in place of mayo. But occasionally I use that. Remember I told you about the knockoff horsey sauce?
Mm-hmm.
I found a brand that is really super spicy. It has got a serious horseradish kick to it, despite the fact that it's very creamy sandwich sauce. And it's horsey sauce on steroids, and I love this stuff. The more I eat it, the more I fall in love with it. And then I'm going to be like, you know what? I'll never find this again. I'll go looking. I can't remember where I bought it. I'm going to be like, I'll never find it again. Cape Cod has a new limited edition potato chip flavor going for spring. What I love about Cape Cod is these are the kettle fried chips,
They're good.
and they're like, nope, we're not healthy. We're not even trying. Forget it. Hey, RFK Jr., screw you. We don't care. We're worse for you than any potato chip on the market, and we're proud of it.
But it's like a full throttle
Oh,
potato chip.
it
If
is-
you could describe it, that's what it's not paper thin.
No.
There's a little more thickness to it.
Crunchy.
Very crunchy.
You can taste the oil that they cooked it in.
Oh, yeah. Yum, yum.
And I love it. Now, how about this flavor? Cape Cod lemon herb butter flavored potato chips. Something about that just hits my palate right all the way. I'm like, wait, lemon herb butter?
Could do that.
So there's it's buttery and lemon and herbs? I want some. I must have some. We will sample these if I find them somewhere.
Okay.
You can count on me buying some, bringing them. I'll bring in 2-3 chips because that's all
What?
that's going to be left. I'm going to eat the rest of them myself. Man, they look.
Yeah, I think we're getting to the moment of we need to go back to taste test.
Mhm.
We need to figure out what we're doing this summer too. What,
Yeah, we
what
do.
did we
Yeah,
decide?
yeah.
Wings?
We were talking
gonna
wings.
do
Yeah, we
wings?
were talking wings. I like wings. We got all the way through. We got the rest of March, all of April, and all of May. So we got 2.5 months. If we change our minds, we can change our minds. Who knows? We may not even be employed here by then.
Well,
It's
yes,
radio.
that's always true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for that
Yeah, let's
uplifting
not
thought.
let's not plan.
Oh,
that
you'll be
far
here,
ahead.
Steve. You're not costing
Yeah.
them any money.
Oh, you think?
Jif, they say, is making a major change to its famous peanut butter. What they're really doing is coming out with some new versions.
Oh, okay. So leave the original alone.
Again, Jif has a fat-free, creamy version. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's creamy. But I do not mind the fact that it's fat-free. It does not bother me in the slightest. I will buy it. I will eat it. I just wish it was crunchy. But there's only so much you can do about that. Now, here are some new things. How about Jif Simply Creamy Unsweetened?
It's peanut butter that doesn't have any sweetener in it.
Well,
It's not
yeah.
natural from the peanuts.
Here's what it is. Roasted peanuts, salt, and they add palm oil to keep it from separating.
Oh, okay.
There's no sugar. There's no molasses. Nothing like that. Now, I have told you about my mother going on a health kick when I was 6
Yeah.
and me never getting regular peanut butter again until I became an adult and was able to purchase it myself.
I'm sorry. That is just, you know what? That's
Yeah.
abuse right there.
We had this thing called real peanut butter. It came in plastic tubs, and it had
And
the
it
oil that
separated.
separated,
Yeah.
and you had to stir it up.
Right.
And the tagline on real peanut butter was just peanuts and salt, that's all. And that was the peanut butter I ate growing up. So I would try this just for a little taste of the misery that I grew up with. I wanted to find,
Misery.
go ahead and return to what that felt like.
No, why would you do that to yourself?
Because, it's what I was used to. It's what I knew. It may be a little taste of home. I don't know.
Okay.
It might be
well,
terrible.
you get the
but-
Cape Cod chips and I'll get the Jif. How
Okay.
about that?
Sounds pretty
Kind of
good.
break it up a little bit.
It-
I would say this,
Yeah.
okay? I did it wasn't the fat free. What was the first one you said? You
Yeah,
and
it was
I have
fat-free.
had?
Yeah, it was fat-free.
It's okay,
Yeah.
but it's not the original
No.
Jif.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing better than that.
It really is a blast of the. When you open that jar up and you get that first whiff of Jif, you know exactly what you got. It's not like Skippy. It's not like Peter
No,
Pan. There's
no,
nothing
it's-
quite like Jif peanut butter. It is one of those brands that I really do believe I probably could tell the difference if I was eating a sandwich and it was made with something else. And by the way, I like them all. I'm not dismissing any of them.
But that's the favorite.
That is,
It's really good.
let's say I got a big jar of Jif in my cabinet right now. When I finish that, I might go buy a small Peter Pan. When that's gone, big Jif. Then I might go buy a small Skippy, big Jif. You know, that's the way I work it. But I like to try the other ones and enjoy them. I like Skippy Super Chunk. Nice. Pillsbury just brought back a limited edition cinnamon roll that doesn't really look like it's a cinnamon roll. How about this? Strawberry and cream
Oh,
cinnamon roll.
yum.
Okay.
And by the way, the word cream is actually spelled CREAM.
Ooh.
That means it's actually cream. You're not allowed to say that if it's not actually cream. It's not CREME, which is the way they usually do this. Luscious strawberry and cream icing on top of your cinnamon roll. I will take 2, please.
I bet that's delicious.
Mm.
You know, they've done the orange kind of flavor on top before, but I've never seen strawberry. I'll bet that's
How could
to
it
die
not be?
for.
How could it not be?
Oh.
Did we talk about Chick-fil-A's jalapeno ranch club sandwich already?
It seems familiar.
It's got a little bit of
Maybe last week. I don't know. No.
purple cabbage on it.
I'm looking at the picture and I don't remember talking about this.
Some
I seem to
onions
remember
and
mentioning
some-
it, though, because I was like, I'm kind of out on this because the jalapenos.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
Um,
That doesn't look like a Chick-fil-A sandwich in
doesn't,
the
does it?
picture at all.
No.
It's not the right bun and the chicken is not right.
Oh,
Bill's
so they're
was-
really changing things
Yeah,
up.
I don't-
Who knows? Sometimes they put the pictures in these things that are just not even
Yeah,
close,
not
you
even
know?
it.
This says crispy chicken sandwich with jalapenos, onions, and sauce on sesame bun, but it doesn't say it's Chick-fil-A's.
Mm. Yeah, maybe
Sometimes
it's
they
not.
do that. I think they're just toying with us. Well, who knows? That's supposed to be coming out. And General Mills releasing 5 new products in the Nature Valley line. This is how they suck you in. They create a healthy product, Nature Valley granola bars, and then they go, nobody's buying these. Well, add some sugar. That's a good plan. Okay, still nobody's buying them. What if we put some chocolate chips in there? We
They'll
could do
buy
that.
it.
What if we cover the entire thing with chocolate? Now
Mm.
you've got a candy bar.
Yes,
But it
you
still
do.
says Nature Valley. So here's what they're coming out with now. Kids soft baked bars, which, you know, come in a variety as a peanut butter and s'mores and chocolate chip cookie.
Mhm.
And then they have PB&J bars, both strawberry and grape. And again, you know these are not healthy.
No, they're
This is,
yeah, it's
you know,
just a snack to get the kids to eat something.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. No.
They sucked us in with the whole Nature Valley name, and then they were just like, and here's some garbage
You fell for it.
for
Thank
your
you.
children.
Well,
Enjoy
they
it.
were pretty ingenious to call their company Nature
Right,
Valley because it
absolutely.
sounds like, well, it's nature, like natural, like
Natural.
out in nature.
How
and
could it
it
possibly
can't be bad.
You know who did that? Same people who named Red Delicious apples.
Right.
I think that's it.
We
Nah.
promise they're delicious.
9:50 with Dixon Divine. Dixon Divine and question of the day coming up next. The raspberries. Eric Carmen, love him. 9:55, Dixon Dividing, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Some of the texts we have: snowing, sleeting in Jasper right now. Ronnie says snowing in Cordova. Robbie says snowing in Cullman. Chris says he's not dead. He's a cardboard cutout. Who's he talking about? No idea. what
Not
he's
sure about that.
Let's see. Wilson says, Val, Susan told me she saw you at Tours.
Yeah.
Thanks for attending. She didn't ride. I don't want anybody to get the impression that she actually rode a bike.
I rode in my Jeep.
in your
I was
Jeep,
going from
exactly.
spot to spot. I think I had the right thing. Yeah, it was good to see Susan.
Kelly says snow sleeting in Bluff Park. John says we have snow on 459. Scott says, I always use plain Greek yogurt as a substitute for mayonnaise. That is a great way
It really is
to
good.
remove what little joy you have left in your life. That's good. Good job there,
No,
Scott.
it's
Way to
good.
go.
You know, you mix it in, you don't even know.
Sure,
You won't
sure.
even know.
Karen uses it sometimes in the place of sour cream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Peter Pan roast creamy. Peter Pan honey roast creamy. Delicious. Yes, I agree. I'm a big fan of that as well. Let's see. Somebody asking Steve about a reunion.
Yeah,
Snowing
we
in
got
the
our
British-
40th high school reunion
The
coming up
big
this year.
4-0.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Might want to put your toboggan on, Uncle Dick. I do have a beanie. It says poutine on it. Catherine got it for
Poutine
me
on
in
it?
Canada.
That's fun.
You have it with you here?
I do not have it with me here.
Well, then
Yeah.
what good is it doing you?
Apparently none. Snowing in Goshen, Indiana, says Gundock. Land of Goshen. All right. Snowing in Woodstock. Let's dive in and do this, shall we?
Like people who went to Woodstock back
People-
in 1969 know that?
Can you believe that?
Dixon and Vining's question of the day.
It's a simple one. What comedian would you bring back to life if it were possible? Dead comedian, you want him back? Who is it, Steve?
I love George Carlin, but I'm going Robin Williams.
Good plan. George Carlin, if we could get the early George who was insightful and funny, but by the end of his career, he was just a bitter, angry old man and really
Kinda
wasn't
was.
funny at all anymore. What about you, Valerie?
Gilda Radner.
Oh, great.
Nice choice.
Good choice.
I loved her.
Well done. She was fantastic. I am going to go with Bill Hicks. That was another one of these very insightful guys. He was able to call the BS as well as anybody. If I can't have him, I'll take Mitch Hedberg.
Okay.
Let's see. You got a lot of these. Jerry Clower. Really, Barry? Really?
Wow,
Okay.
Jerry Clower.
Ken says Louis Anderson. Another Robin Williams. James Gregory and John Panette. You can only have one.
Oh,
don't you?
wow.
James Gregory is a good one.
Yeah, Scott says Rodney Dangerfield. Casey said Jackie Gleason.
Jackie Gleason. David says Buster Keaton. Russell Jonathan Winters. Richard Pryor. I was like John Candy movies. Rodney Dangerfield. I don't get no respect.
Grumpy old goat. Louis Grizzard.
There's a Bill Hicks. Troy says Bill Hicks. Good. Live with the Stooges now, so I'd be right at home with this trio, says Molly. I love it. Lenny Bruce. Lenny was another guy who, at the end of his career, just got bitter and bad, and he just wasn't funny anymore. I don't know what the deal was.
Damn it, Glenn. Sam Kinison.
Beth says Bob Newhart. Good one.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. A lot of people say Red Skelton, which tells me that we have a lot of very old listeners.
people.
Yeah. Gilbert Gottfried.
Wow.
Love me some Gilbert Gottfried. Carlin, Rickles, Panette, Kennison, Skelton, Bob Newhart, John Candy, Norm MacDonald. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Norm.
Oh, wow. I hadn't thought about that. Oh, I love me some Norm MacDonald.
Rob G says Flip Wilson.
Why not Flip? Paul Lind. Paul Lind.
Paul Lynn.
I want some Paul Lind.
Mark adds Betty White.
Jay Hickman. I'm trying to find some different names here that we haven't seen before. Groucho Marx.
Oh, there's a name from the past.
A bag of ice is 25 cents? Outrageous. For 25 cents, I could buy an Eskimo and make my own ice. Very good. Tim Conway. Sure. Tim Wilson. Also great.
Oh, wow.
Like the Betty White. That's good. Mudbone. No idea who that is. Should I?
I don't either.
Lucy. I'm home. We're out of here. Back tomorrow, dark and early, 6 a.m. Talking to you then, Dixon Mining.